Bakker, the Naturopath from NZ, New Zealand. Thanks for coming back. How do you tell the difference between Candida and another health problem? This is a question that's been put to me a few times now, so it's about time I replied to this one. Well, Candida is a disease of lifestyle. So generally meaning it's something that you did in your lifestyle that really created this problem. Most people aren't born with large levels of Candida. They develop them in their body over periods of time through certain activities or actions on their part. As I've mentioned in so many videos previous, one of the key aspects of Candida development is pharmaceutical medications, particularly antibiotics. So ask yourself the question, have I taken antibiotics much in the past? Am I on them now? Have I taken them recurrently? Has my digestive system never been well since? Okay, so this is a term I often use. I'm going to write it down. This is a term, NBWS, that often would go on a case-taking form for a patient, never been well since. What we always look for people is the turning point. Okay, we look at the tipping point, something that wasn't right. All right. Now, in many cases, when I was seeing patients, I would let the patient talk for a good 20-30 minutes about their problems, their lifestyle, their relationships, things that happened, and you'll see these little red flags popping up. People will tell you exactly what happened and when it happened. They know, they're not stupid. When they sit in the doctor's office, they're often treated like retarded chimpanzees half the time, and that's really sad because, it's amazing patients are even allowed to speak to the doctor, but come on. Patients know what's wrong with them. If only doctors would listen and actually open these things up, So NBWS, that's a key one, all right? Now the other thing is I look very much at the occupation of the person and their relationships with other people, what they're doing, because that will also tell me often how they're eating, what they're eating, why they're eating, how much they're eating, all right? So food and drugs are two key aspects of yeast infections. Medications, as I mentioned, iatrogenic or drug-induced Candida, which is extremely common, or diet, lifestyle-induced Candida, which is also extremely common. So, for example, let me give you an example. I had a patient, I remember several years ago, who was perfectly normal until he got a security job, driving around in a car, with a torch, those heavy torches you whack people with, and we've got the car with the blue and white stripes all around. It looks like a cop car, but it's not a cop car kind of thing. And so this guy is a security guard. Now, he'd been doing this for several years, and his health went down and down and down and down. And I said to him, what was your health like prior to doing your job? And he said it was perfectly fine. I had no gut problems. I had no jock itch. I had nothing. I felt great. I had a great marriage. Everything was going well. He said, but as soon as I got this job, within literally several months, things started to go south. So I said, okay, well, let's examine this job. Let's examine what you're eating, when you're eating, and how you're working. Well, it was right there. This guy was eating like, fries and Coke at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was doing crazy things like that. So his pattern was completely screwed up and imbalanced. When a person's lifestyle and diet becomes imbalanced and crazy, their health will go imbalanced and crazy. It stands to reason, doesn't it? So these are things I always try and teach my students when I had student practitioners sitting in with me, was very carefully look at the person's occupation, their mode of living, and how they relate with other people. This will often tell you how and when things went astray. Okay, so to answer the question, how to tell the difference between Candida and other problems, those are the things I look at. All right. Other problems can also, of course, occur like that. But remember when I said initially, look at the antibiotics, look at the sugar load going in, look at the soda consumption, look at the donut consumption, look at the sweet cravings, look at what the person will be dying to have. Really, if they've got to go out and buy a candy bar, well, there's a chance that they could have a yeast infection. The average person will not have this very strong urge to want to have a candy bar all of a sudden, or a particular time of day have a coffee with 3 sugars and a donut or something sweet with it. I worked with a business partner like that once, I knew instantly he had Candida, because if we would be going on a we'd be doing sales repping, we'd be driving around, talking to people, all of a sudden he'd have this urge. He'd say, hey, let's just pull into this shop over here. I said, why? He said, I just wanted something sweet. I said, you wanted something sweet? I said, well, how about we give it a miss? No, let's just get something. So this is the yeast again calling his name, okay? Calling the guy's name, telling him that it wanted to be fed, basically. If you've got dogs or cats, okay, you'll know when an animal wants to be fed, all right? It'll tell you, okay? It'll bark or it'll jump on you. Now, Candida is a very similar thing. It will tell you, all right? Subconsciously, it will tell you that it needs to be fed. And that's why so many people jump from one sweet thing to another too. They think it's to give them a lift or because they like the taste of it, but basically they're feeding the yeast in their gut. Look at the cravings. Look at the medications, okay? Look at the desires. These are strong indications that there's a Candida problem going on, all right? Very strong indication. Look at the body. Look at the itching, okay? The ears, the groin, the feet, okay? The armpits, anywhere, regular itching. These are, again, indications. They're all little tiny flags popping up everywhere, okay? If you look, you will see these things. Thanks for tuning in.